Real quick, guys, I want to let you know about two events coming up that you may want to put on your calendar. The first is August 8th. This is the Nashville Men's Conference. It's going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible. Pastor Joby, Pastor Robbie, my buddy Drew Parker, I'm going to be there. So if you'd like to go, when you register, make sure you use code LION26 at checkout, okay? So I hope to see you there in Nashville on August 8th. The next event, I'm excited about this one. You guys have been asking for the Lion Within Us to do a West Coast event for quite a while now. Well, we're actually doing it. It's called Man Camp. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be in Colville, Utah. This weekend, you're not going to want to miss. It's September 25th through the 27th. I'll be leading a series of messages that hopefully are encouraging to you, and we're even going to have a church service right there in the mountains on Sunday morning. So guys, for both of these events, go to thelionwithin.us/events. It's pretty simple, thelionwithin.us/events. So put these on your calendars, guys, and I hope to see you in Nashville and in Utah real soon. Welcome to The Lion Within Us, a podcast serving Christian men who are hungry to be the leaders God intends you to be. I'm your host, Chris Granger. Let's jump in. All right, guys, this is your Fun Friday Member Spotlight. Let's get into it. But before we get to our awesome member, we got our scripture, and it's in Colossians this week, chapter 4, but it's two verses. It's verse 5 and 6, and that says, be wise in the way that you act towards others, towards outsiders, rather. Make the most out of every opportunity. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. So, guys, I took some time to unpack that verse in our Spiritual Kickoff podcast earlier. So just go back to in your podcast feed. You don't want to miss the last one in the podcast feed either, guys. You know what that one's all about. And, fellas, if you enjoy the Spiritual Kickoffs, we do them Monday through Friday at the Lion Within Us. We call it the Daily SKO. So if you go to thelionwithin.us, you'll see it. It's called Daily SKO. It's a free way to get connected with us, guys. We just love teaching God's Word each and every day of the week. And then also, if you can't make the live feed, don't worry. We put those videos in there for you each and every day. You also have access to our prayer request space, guys. We can be praying for you on a regular basis. And that is the most active part. I'm telling you guys, it's the most active part of the Lion Within Us is the prayer request space. And we want it to be that way. We even have a prayer call every Monday. So if you want to be prayed over and be prayed for, hey, join that, guys. And look, if you're in the continental U.S., we got a free gift we'd like to send you. Sorry, you have to be in the continental U.S. I had someone get frustrated with me the other day because they were from South Africa. I'm like, sorry, I can't send you a free gift. But anyway, so that if you're in the U.S., guys, that's where it's at, thelionwithin.us. All right, so let's get to our guest, fellas. So, man, I'm super pumped. Jeff Dunn, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm caffeinated. I actually, God let me sleep last night while I was on duty. So I'm highly caffeinated. Number three.
Number three. I hear you, bro. So before we get into it, what's your go-to coffee? What's your brand?
Well, so it depends. Is it hot or is it cold? If it's hot coffee, it's strictly black.
Okay.
I've joked around for my 3 decades in public service. I like my coffee like I like my attitude, black and bitter.
Okay. Got it.
It's not as much anymore. God's getting rid of the bitterness. It's certainly not black anymore, but that's just always been my go-to line. And then if it's cold, I have to go to Starbucks. Say what you will, judge, whatever. I get a venti ice shaken espresso. I never thought I'd be one of those guys that would be like, I need a venti half calf latte, blah, 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 blah. But it's got a little bit of classic syrup and a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of milk. And I'm pretty sure that they actually put crack in it as well. Dude, I have to blame my wife for this. So I was never I'm in New England. So the whole America runs on Dunkin', that started here in New England.
Okay.
And we were at one of our Disney trips. If you can't tell, I have Stitch on my shirt.
There you go.
Big Disney geek. And we were at Hollywood Studios on one of our trips. And she goes, I'm getting a Starbucks. And I'm like, okay, I need coffee, but I'm not a Starbucks guy. They had a vanilla sweet cream iced coffee because, 80 degrees, 85 degrees, whatever it was, really wasn't going for the hot coffee. And I got that vanilla sweet cream and it was like 24 ounces of crack in a cup, really is what it was. And I'm like, oh, I'm addicted. People talk, doing what I do, we look at like meth and some of these other really nasty drugs. No, coffee.
Yep. Right.
I'll take my Starbucks. Say what you will. Guys that I work with give me grief about it. Like, you're drinking Starbucks. I'm like, dude, I can point to police officers that drink Starbucks. Judge if you will. I don't care. I'm not changing it.
That's it. All right. Well, this is a judgment-free zone. We'll just leave it at that. I'm not
All
going to
right, all right.
take it any further. All right. So, oh man, Jeff, uh, love to let our listeners know. You already mentioned you're in public service, but kind
Yep.
of give us a little bit of your testimony and your background, bud.
So, background, I grew up Catholic, and on my stepdad's side of the family, we always joked that in that side of the family, you had God, Christ, the Pope, my grandmother, and then everybody else. Uh,
Right.
she actually, honestly, she retired from the Catholic Diocese of Maine uh, as the oldest full-time employee at 90 years old, and
Wow.
got a legit gold frame autograph picture of the Pope, not rubber stamped, in his handwriting when she retired. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, so I grew up Catholic. Um, Karen and I were actually talking about this the other day. So I remember coming to the Lord um, June 6th, excuse me, not June 6th, June 10th of 2001. Um, like, 2 months before 9/11.
Yeah.
Which, as a born again Christian, brand new, that freaked me out. Um, Prior to that, I thought that I had Karen. There was a time period. So Karen and I have been together since high school. We literally have grown up together. She was 15 and I was 17. She was a freshman. I was a senior. Her dad did not like me. He was a woodsman, worked by himself. I always figured if I irritated him too much or hurt his daughter, that he would rip a tree out of the ground and beat me over the head with it.
It's like
The
for
dude
some.
had his hands were like this big. Like he legit could crush walnuts in his hand. Anyway, we had a time period back then that we had split up. And I wound up going to, I got with another girl for a while. She brought me to her church, thought that I had gotten saved. But I never really, there was no, um, I had no change, right? Like the guys that I hung out with is still the same. We did the same things. Um, I was just like, nope, I'm saved. I got my free ticket, but I'm just going to continue to do what I do. Um, but anyway, in our conversation, I had my very first job was in the meat department at a grocery store, and my manager was a born again Christian. And I remember uh, him sharing the gospel with me. And I remember being in bed one night crying and asking God to save me. Uh, but Maine is one of the least church states in the nation, if not the
Yeah.
least church state in the nation. So there wasn't a whole lot of, there was no mentorship.
Right.
Back then as a teenager, when I was 21 years old. So then fast forward to June 10th, got saved. Karen, being, even though I wasn't born again, I actually brought her to God.
Okay.
When we were, I was getting ready to move and move out to Kansas, and I shared the gospel with her, and she accepted Christ. Been a good, godly wife, and put up with a whole lot of junk on my part
Yeah.
for the last 38 years. So anyway, um, I was still during that time period, like my priorities were out of whack. I started my career in public service as a police officer, worked for a bunch of different agencies, but my priorities were my career, my buddies, because friends were always. I didn't have a great home life, which will bring me into. I'll circle back around to that later, but my friends were very high importance to me, and then my family and God was somewhere down lower.
Right.
And I told him, I remember telling the pastor, I'm like, you know what? If I could just get my career in order, if I could just get that full time job, because I was working for, like I said, I was working for multiple agencies and didn't have a full time career. Everything else will fall into line. And eventually, God wound up taking it away from me.
Really?
Yeah, it almost cost me my family. The downfall of public safety in general is we have a very high divorce rate.
I was going to ask you about that. That I've heard that stat. It's true, right?
Yep, it is. It is very much true.
Yeah.
I
What's
was,
the driver for that, though? Like, you got any thoughts on what drives that?
yeah, it's a few things. I mean, if you ask Karen, there are weeks there's 168 hours in a week,
Yeah.
and there are weeks that I'm working 108, 110 hours a week. I'm
Gracious.
home long enough to sleep, for sleep for 8 hours, take a shower, put on a different uniform, and out the door I go for another 24, 36, 48, however many hours.
Right.
So there's that time away from home. There's the stress that we bring home,
Yeah.
which I didn't realize that I brought it home until I had a really bad call. And then, you know, something Joby says, temptation is tempting, right?
Yeah.
Um, and it's very easy. And you're working in the world, right? Like
Right.
we all as Christians work in the world for the most part, unless you're fortunate enough to work, you work in a church and that's who you're around with all the
Right.
time. But when you're in the public sector, when you're the one making the news, right? Everybody else watches the news. As a police officer, as a paramedic, as a firefighter, all of us make the news, right?
Right.
So it's easy to get caught up in that heroism. And then, I mean, some of it, like, there's a whole correlation between nurses and firefighters. And funny enough, Karen's a nurse or had been a nurse. So it's very easy to get caught up in that. And when you start neglecting what's at home, and then you have somebody that's giving you that smile and batting the eyes and flicking the hair behind the ear, and you're like, oh, I'm not getting that at home. And you're not getting it at home because you're not watering your garden at home.
Yeah.
Right? You're not protecting the things at home. And it's just, it's very easy to get caught up in it.
Yeah.
The stress aspect of it. I had a call, Halloween in 2016, at dark 30 in the morning. It came in, we had to stage. So when we stage for law enforcement, it means there's a volatile situation on, they're going to need EMS, but the scene isn't safe enough for us to go in yet. They won't let me carry a gun while I'm on duty on the ambulance. I don't know if they're afraid that I'm going to use it on somebody. I don't know. And forgive me because I've done this for so long. I have a dark sense of humor. Anyway, I had to stage for a call, and they walked a guy out of the house, handcuffed him, put him in the cruiser that we happen to be parked next to. And then they called me inside to go check on a couple of people. The first officer says, I'm pretty sure that they're both gone, but I need you to go in and confirm it. Okay. And, I've seen enough dead people. I walked in, I saw the dad. A lot of times when we confirm it, we'll use our cardiac monitor because we're looking for electricity of the heart. And when people talk about flatline, that means there's no electricity and it's just a carpenter's dream across the screen. It's just a flat line. But we can also pronounce if there are obvious signs of death. And he had obvious signs of death, and I was okay with it. But then I had to go pronounce the mom. And mom was a very petite woman. I knew her because she used to work at the vet that I take my animals to. When I first looked at her, I froze for about 10 seconds because she was so small. I thought I was going to be pronouncing like a 10 or a 12-year-old. And it was at night. She's in her t-shirt and her skivvies. And as I'm scanning down the body looking, there were things that I realized. I'm like, okay, this is at least an adult. She had a tattoo, a couple of the things. And I'm like, all right, I can deal with this. And then pronounce mom. Yet she was gone. And dealt with it, right? Went back, did my reports, went back to bed, blah, blah, blah. But it was either Karen or my daughter, Hope, that first noticed that I was just getting angry, like constantly angry. And it's that anger that if you don't deal with it, can drive a huge wedge between you and the family, you and the wife, especially. And I thought I was protecting the family by not saying anything about it. So that's one of those things that can definitely cause a divorce.
Yeah.
Because it shuts off the communication.
Right. Man, that's a crazy story, Jeff. I mean,
Yeah.
wow. So, I mean, you've been in the public service for so long. How did that impact your faith journey throughout that time?
So shortly afterwards, I started counseling just because I knew I needed to unpack things. And I've been in a counselor now, a new counselor who happens to be a pastor's son. He's also a captain at another fire department. Um, I realized I've known for a while that there was a void in my life, but I couldn't put my finger on what it was. Right. Like I'm I've got all the things, right? I've got a family, I've got a career, roof over my head. I've got, people that love me, whatever, but there was something missing. And I'll admit well, not the last few years, but I was trying to fill that void in ways that I shouldn't have been. There's been, and Karen knows there's been some infidelity on my part years ago. Excuse me. And it dawned on me, and I don't know if it was when I was talking to my counselor or in my devotions, but I realized that the void that I was missing was God. And let me rephrase that. It wasn't God, because I know he's there, right? It was God's love for me. Now,
Yeah.
I said I was going to circle back to family. I didn't have, yet roof over the head and parents, and I had a little brother, and, but the the love from my father was either heavy-handed or it was laissez-faire, right? Like flat.
Right.
There were times that, yep, there was laughter, there was a hug, but that was the exception and not the norm. So my picture of God has always been, and I won't say the words that go through my mind, but that's been my picture. Um,
Yeah.
so it's something that I have been praying about. And I know I've asked Lions to pray about it. Some of the guys in my mastermind, like Karen, I think you and I have had a conversation about this. And the funniest thing, uh, the other day I was texting with Jared Mayo from the Lion,
Right.
who
Yep.
he and I met on my first Lion lunch, and we just clicked.
Yeah.
And never saw each other till we went to the men's retreat.
Right.
So I was texting with Jared because he's had some health stuff going on. So when I got done, I started praying, and I normally don't pray out loud. It's in my head, and I don't generally close my eyes, because when I close my eyes, then the squirrels start running in all different directions in my head, all chasing different nuts. And I'm like, oh, what was I talking about?
Right.
So I'm talking to God. I'm legitimately having a conversation with God. And so prayed for Jared, prayed for Tia. Sorry, Jared, I can't remember how to pronounce your wife's name. Prayed for something else. And then just started talking to God, like, show me your love. Like, I need to feel this. I need this. You have to come through. And I wish I could remember what my words were, but like the whole tears thing and snots running down my mustache. And of course, I'm on duty. Fortunately, I'm in my room. The door's closed, so my partner can't hear me. But I tell you, like in the last week, I feel like even though the stuff that's been going on with Karen, my dog was really sick, critically sick. Um, like I feel like I've been walking on cloud nine, right? Like just I woke up at 4:15 this morning to my son, and then not wanting to wake up, and then I'm like, oh, hey, I'm in a really good book. And my lieutenant wants to go to Bible study. And like, to quote Joby, I mean, it's not always like this, but today it just seemed like it was Cadillacs and cotton candy, you know?
Right. There you go.
So yeah, I mean, God has dude, he has just come through.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, how did you? Maybe I don't even know the origin story of. If I have, I probably forgot. How did you even get connected with the Lion at all? I mean, you're going through this discipleship journey. You're growing. Like, what led you to the Lion to start with?
It was YouVersion, the Bible app.
The Bible app. Okay, that's right. 'Cause you do your devos on the Bible app. That's right.
Yep, I do my Devos on the Bible app. And it was one of your I think it was I'm just a guy who's angry. Um,
Right.
there's the Avengers movie, the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, you know the part where all the aliens are coming in and Bruce Banner finally shows up and Captain America looks at him and he goes, "Hey Doc, it's time to get angry." And Bruce Banner turns around and goes, "Hey Cap, that's my secret. I'm always angry," and turns into the Hulk. Like
Right.
my anger is just simmering underneath the surface.
Yeah.
Like it does not, and I've always had a bad temper. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, doing what I do, it's kind of detrimental to your career to let your anger show through, especially when you have, you're arresting somebody or have a client, have a patient. Not saying that it doesn't happen, but I've learned to control it.
Right. Right.
But yeah, so I was reading. I'm just a guy who's angry, and then I
Yeah.
filled out the questionnaire at the end of it, and then you
Right.
sent me the email within. It was either that day or the next day. You sent me the email, and I'm looking at it, and I think Dawn said the same. Dawn, somebody said the same thing just recently. Like, yeah, it's the CEO of the company. This is going to be he wants to reach out and talk, and it's just going to be a canned message. So I'm like, whatever. What do I got to lose? And it was you, like legit. We're talking like we are now, and I'm like, wow,
Right.
okay. And yeah, I told Karen about it, and I signed up.
Nice, man. Well, I mean,
And
we
it's been
definitely have enjoyed having you in so far. What have you enjoyed about it so much?
the brotherhood. Um,
Okay.
Even though people on the outside, people hear about the brotherhood of the fire service, a brotherhood of public safety, a lot like the military. With the military, the different branches make fun of one another. There's between the cops and the firefighters, there's always fun animosity.
Yeah.
The reason why police officers are police officers is because they failed the firefighter test. Uh, so, um, but also once you get into it, it's not always there. There's a lot of
Yeah.
times where it's like we eat our own. Now,
Yeah.
don't come at us from the outside because then we'll circle the wagons and then you're going to get all of us together. But when it's you in the firehouse, that brotherhood just is not there. Then it was something that I needed.
Right.
And so the brotherhood probably is the biggest thing. Like I said, when I met with Jared, we just clicked. The same
Yeah.
type of sense of humor, the same, like, it was just there. And it carried through when we got to the men's retreat.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a dude.
And speak to that, man. I mean, I think you traveled the furthest by
Mhm.
car or
Yep.
truck.
Truck.
You drove from Maine to North
Yep.
Carolina, and what like when guys hear that, they're like, "No way, man!" I'm like, "Yeah, we had a guy. He drove from Maine down to North Carolina for this retreat. Why?
Yeah.
And what was your takeaway from the retreat?"
Aside from the fact that I didn't want to be a paramedic for that weekend,
Yeah. Right.
um, brotherhood was there.
Yeah.
The den of lions was there. Like, not just Jared, but the guys that I met.
Right.
Jonathan and a couple of different three different Jonathans. You, Adam Rushing. Like it was picking up. I don't know if you do, but I've had friends where you see each other and then you'll go 6, 7, 8 months, a couple of years without seeing each other, without talking, and then you meet up again, and it's just you pick up right where you left off.
Yeah.
And that was
That's right.
kind of the way it was with these guys. It was like we've talked online a bunch, but this is the first time we've met, and like, yeah, we just clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It really was. I mean, that was a
yeah.
special time for sure. And then you've even stepped into one of our mastermind groups. And so give us a little rundown of what that's been like, man.
So I wasn't entirely sure what to expect with the mastermind. Um, the hot seat thing of laying it out there for everybody to see, or at least these guys. Um, but uh, when I started, there was, excuse me, when I started, there was three of us. And then a fourth one came in who was there for a short time. And I can't think of what his name is off the top of my Jim, I think. Uh, I have a job with a name tag. I forget my own name. So uh, whatever. Anyway, he was there. He got what he needed, and then he left. So then it was just me and Steven and Pablo. And then Chris Dupree came in, who I also met down at the retreat. And now we have Jonathan Kaufman and Keith R. Uh,
Jeremiah.
and Jeremiah Jonathan.
Yeah.
I took names.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really bad when I don't wear my name tag because people, what's your name? And I'm like, I don't know. So it's just, it's just that the connection is what I'm getting out of it, and being able to lift up one another and be there for one another. I laid a couple of things out the other night after our mastermind meeting, and guys coming back and circling around, and hey, we got you, man. You're not doing this alone.
That's right.
Yeah. And that, the Lion and the mastermind have just elevated my walk and enhanced my walk to get closer to God and to feel that love, and I know that God a lot of times works through people, and he has brought some guys in that are just, I just wish I lived closer to these guys, because I'm up here in the Great White North, and it's like exile. And so,
well, you're connected with them both. I mean, it's really neat to see how God's moving in those mastermind groups, and we're still learning and evolving and trying to make them even better. But I know one thing, you make us better just by being a part of it, bud. So just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you for doing this, for starting it, because I don't know where my walk would be right now if I hadn't found the Lion. And the way that God's working through you and the Lion is amazing.
That's pretty humbling right there, man. So I'm just doing John 2:5, whatever he tells me to do, and this is it, and then we just do iterations of that, and he never gives me 5 steps. It's always one, because I'm a little slow on the uptake. So
you ain't alone.
Well, there may be a guy listening, Jeff, that's because I mean, obviously God's moving, and we got more guys listening now, got more guys watching and kind of leaning in and finding us through the Bible app or different means or podcasts and things like that. And maybe he hasn't taken a step with a daily SKO or the Lion's Den or thought about a mastermind. What would be your encouragement to that guy?
I would say do it. I mean, I know where my walk was. I mean, I've been in the Lion for the end of last year, I think, is when I joined, somewhere around there last fall. I shudder to think where my walk would be, or if I would be having a walk, without having found the Lion. And now, with these guys, with the mastermind, with that brotherhood, if you're hesitant, like if you have an inkling that you're looking for the brotherhood, for the connection, for the walk, that you need to take that step. And I mean, there's a little bit of financial contribution to it, but it is well worth it. It's well worth it. I would, as much as it pains me to say this, I would probably give up my Starbucks coffee just to make sure that I could cover the account.
There you go, buddy. There you go. Well, we're not going to make you do that. So I mean, you can keep your Starbucks. This secret is safe between us. So don't tell anybody, guys. That has to be Jeff's secret. But man, this has been awesome, brother. Anything before we get to the final parts? Anything else you want to share today, Jeff? I just want to say thank you.
No, again, man, thank you. Thank you. I mean, you and I have had some conversations, outside of conversations, text messaging.
Yep.
I I can't thank you enough, because it has been, in a short amount of time, it has been life-changing. And I don't use that lightly.
I certainly appreciate that. God gets all the glory with that, man. So this has been a fun one. I knew it was going to be. You wore the Stitch shirt, which is going to make my wife happy, man. That's her favorite. So that's it, buddy.
So, like I said, I'm a Disney geek. Please don't ask me how many times I've been to a Disney property, because it's kind of obscene. My wife and I bought Disney Vacation Club back in 2015, and then we bought a second one. And we started going in 2005. And all I will say is I've been to a Disney property double-digit times. So this is, I mean, not only is it Stitch, but it's also Hawaiian.
There you go.
They have a resort in Hawaii. We've been twice, and Hawaii, like, if I could convince Karen, I would move to Hawaii. So my two favorite places is Disney and Hawaii, and I get the best of it when I go to Hawaii.
That's it.
If I can't be there in person, I can be there in my mind.
Amen, brother. Amen. Well, hopefully that'll work out for you. Maybe you can convince her,
Probably not.
All right, guys, man, this has been a fun one with Jeff. Our book of the week, fellas, is old Willie Robertson, Gospeller. So I got the book right here. We were blessed to have Willie come on. So, guys, check that out. Hopefully you'll enjoy the book. And then I got a couple of dad jokes I want to run by you, Jeff. So let's see which one you like, man. Okay.
Yep.
So the first one comes from our brother Doug, man. Doug, he is the dad joke king for Around the Lion. So, you know why you shouldn't yell into a colander, Jeff?
I do. I know this joke quite well.
Okay, well, go ahead. You can deliver it, man.
Because you might strain your voice.
That's it. So
that's a
Doug,
classic.
Man,
it's a classic. You can't go wrong with classic.
You can't. So Doug, he had it, man. He got it. But how about this one now? Do you know what has more lives than a cat?
No.
It's a frog. Because a frog croaks every day.
I'm going to share that one at the firehouse, and I'm waiting to leave and go out into the living room and get an eye roll from Karen.
There you go. So, guys, we put these dad jokes out every Friday and the Lion. And the cool part is you can vote, and whoever votes wrong, you just get to pick on them for a whole week, So it's out there. But anyway, guys, question of the week is, how are your actions reflecting Christ to people around you? So, guys, if your actions aren't aligning to what God's calling you to do, we got to course correct, boys. So, I mean, that's what it's all about. But, Jeff, anything else, man, for today? This has been a whole lot of fun with you, buddy.
No, man, but you're at point on with that. If you got to course correct if your actions don't line up.
That's it. Well, guys, thanks for listening. Look, hang out to come to the linewithin.us. Jeff's talked about the mastermind. We don't accept everybody for that, guys. So first thing you want to do is put in your application for it. And then we'll see if it's a good fit for you. You can go to the linewithin.us/mastermind if you want to check that out, or the Lion's Den, or the Daily SKO. All of us found at the website, guys. Give us a rating and review. Hey, and share this one out. Particularly share this one out for your buddies that are out there, firefighters, paramedics, first responders. Those types of guys love to, hey, it's a brotherhood, as Jeff mentioned. So we'd love to get his story out there as well. So, guys, have a great day. We'll see you next time, and just keep unleashing the lion within. It's time to stop battling pornography, lust, and temptation alone. We're done sitting on the sidelines, seeing shame win, and hearing from guys that are fighting private wars with no backup. So we decided it's time to fight back. We have our Sexual Integrity Support Group, which is a confidential space inside the Lion's Den for men who are ready to step into the light and pursue real freedom. This isn't just for guys in crisis, by the way. It's for any man who's tired of the cycle, who's tired of living in secret, who's tired of saying, this is going to be the last time. Look, most guys don't need another app or some rules. They need some brothers to come alongside them to say, you're not the only one. This doesn't define you, and freedom is possible. So look, inside our group, you're going to find a confidential, judgment-free forum to engage and ask questions. You'll have honest conversations without condemnation, and you'll also have a monthly call with a trusted guide. So look, this isn't just about stopping pornography. It's about becoming a man of integrity, a man aligned, a man who lives in freedom, not secrecy. And you don't have to clean yourself up first to come. You just have to step in. So our sexual integrity support group is found inside the Lion's Den. And you can start that today with a 30-day free trial. So if you're ready to stop fighting alone and need that extra support, start your 30-day free trial right now at thelionwithin.us. That's thelionwithin.us, and step inside the Lion's Den. We have a brand new plan that just released on the Bible app that I want to let you guys know about. It's called I'm Just a Guy Who Feels God is Silent. And there have been seasons in our life where God can feel painfully quiet, right? Prayers seem unanswered, directions maybe feel unclear, and the silence itself can slowly begin to shape how we view Him, how we view ourselves, and the future that lies ahead. So this plan is for the man who's wrestling honestly with those moments. Not from the perspective of someone who has everything figured out, but rather from someone learning that faith is often less about hearing God clearly all the time and more about trusting His presence, even when the path ahead feels uncertain. So guys, this is a 5-day plan. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it. If you head over to thelionwithin.us/Bible, you'll see it right there. Or just open up the Bible app, search for The Lion Within Us, follow us on the Bible app, and you'll see this plan. I'm just a guy who feels God is silent. Hope you guys enjoy this one.